Alright, now we're going to talk about the effects section on the 68 mixer. This is your effects section here. You have built-in effects on the Rane 68. You have filter, flanger, phaser, echo, robot, and reverb built into the mixer. You engage those by turning on which one you want here. Before you do that, you want to make sure this flex effects button is on. Now you want to come down to the front panel of the mixer and turn the flex effects mix level knob all the way to the right. This is important in order to hear the effect and the dry signal. You want to keep this turned all the way to the right. Now let's turn an echo on. Let's adjust our level depth knob to bring in the level and depth of the effect we want. And now if I want to bring that on this channel, I just press the flex effects button on that channel and bring in my delay. If I want a little more, just bring the depth up to the right. If I want a little less, bring it to the left. These are post-fader effects, which means when I take the crossfader out or the channel fader out, the effect will still fade out. So you can hear that delay still going when I take the channel out. Let's say I wanted to have that effect fade out, but manipulate the dry signal of my effect back in on top of it. All you need to do is have your effect going. Press the flex effects button on that channel to disengage that, and then the affected signal will keep playing, and you can do whatever you want with the dry signal on top of that. Just that easy. Now you have two different beat buttons here. They go right or left or up and down. If I press that up, it's going to lengthen my effect, and if I press it down, it's going to shorten my effect. So if I want a little bit longer of a delay here, just press the beat button up. If I want a little longer, press it up again. If I want to shorten that, just press it down. You may notice that those effects are staying in time with the beat as I go up and down. If you have your BPM locked into your MP3s and your waves and Scratch Live, the 68 will detect what that BPM is and automatically put that effect on beat. Now let's say I want to tap in a special beat, or if I'm using a microphone and have the effects engaged on the mic channel and want the mic to be in time with the record. I can use the tap button down here and tap in whatever tempo or BPM I want. And now the effect will go to the BPM that I tapped. I can also use the time knob here to adjust it in small increments. And I can see that on the LCD screen here. It tells me the information about the effect, the BPM, how long I have it set, the time in milliseconds. Now if you want to get your source back on BPM lock, all you need to do is turn the flex effects button off and back on, and it'll be back in sync. Just that quick. Now as you switch from effect to effect, the 68 remembers the settings you have for each effect, so you don't have to jump out of effect, come back to it, and reset it to where you had it before. So if I set this echo to a really short echo and go to my filter, let's say I have a longer filter sweep, and go back to my echo, it remembers that's on a really short echo. I can go back to my filter, and it's still set to that longer filter. Now with effects like filter, flanger, and phaser, you can resync the LFO that's making the filter sweep up and down by pressing down on the time knob. So you can re-trigger that LFO anytime you want, so that effect always falls on the downbeat of a measure or anywhere you want within the song. So now if you have a lower or shorter LFO on one of these effects, you can get a cool rhythmic effect out of tapping that time knob. So there's your filter sweep. This is your flanger effect. Here's your phaser. Here's your reverb effect. Robot. and your echo effect. Now your sweepable filter knobs on each channel will still work while your effects are on. So if I want to have this echo going and sweep through the filter frequency, that's how you would do that. Now if you look at the LCD screen, if we go back to our software, we can adjust the brightness of that screen in the Setup tab. So I'm going to go to my software, go to my Setup tab, go to my Hardware tab, and down here you see LCD contrast. And this knob can be mapped to a MIDI knob or a MIDI controller as well, and we'll show you more of that in the custom mapping video. Now if I turn this knob, I can adjust the brightness of the LCD screen. This can come in handy if you're in a situation where the lighting is too bright or too dark and you can't quite see the screen that well. This will give you a little bit more control over that. And that's the built-in hardware fix in the Rane 68 mixer.